It is a God who arms me with strength and keeps my way secure. Psalms chapter 18, verse 32. Good morning to one and all present here. A day without prayer is a day without blessing, and a life without prayer is a life without power. Let's begin this session with a prayer song by Evangelina of 2nd BSc Physics, second year head girl of our college. You are my strength when I am weak. You are the treasure that I seek. You are my all in all. Seeking you as a precious jewel, you have to give me everything. You are my all in all. Jesus, Lamb of God, what is your name? Jesus, Lamb of God, what is your name? Take you pick me up when I'm dry, fill my cup. You are my Jesus, Lamb of God, what is your name? Jesus, Lamb of God, what is your name? What is your name? Thank you, Evangelina. Sunshine is a welcome thing. It brings a lot of brightness. Now I call upon Mrs. Shine Janet, College Union President from BA English Literature to address the gathering.
He who was seated on the throne said, I'm making everything new. Revelation chapter 21, verse 5. With these words of God Almighty, I begin my words of welcome by wishing one and all exuberant morning. Let us all make sure we make efforts in spreading love and positivity with open heart. A beautiful woman is a beautiful woman, but a beautiful woman with a brain is an absolutely lethal combination. Yes, as an instance, we have here Mrs. Asha Iyer Kumar, author, columnist, writing coach, youth motivational speaker, as the resource person. Her professional qualifications include a master's in communication and journalism, PG diploma in advertising and corporate PR, diploma in training, and a master life coach certification. Ma'am is the founder of I Bloom FZE, a life writing coaching enterprise based in Dubai that aims to bring the craft of writing and the art of living together. As an author, children's writing coach, and youth motivational speaker, Ma'am aims to use the power of story writing to relate and understand the world around her and transform young people's lives by helping them recognize the subtle and sublime aspects of life through the written words. As a weekly columnist of College Times, she wrote hundreds of articles that examined life and living. She draws her inspiration and wisdom from her understanding of life lessons found in spiritual texts, the essence of which she imbibes from constant introspection. Her speaking session have had invaluable impact on students, inspiring them to write and to look at life closely. Her recent motivational speaking sessions were held at Sri Krishna Aditya College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore, Oak Ridge International College, Bangalore, and so on. We are really happy to have such an empowered icon amidst us. I, on behalf of the management, welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you
Moving
very
ahead.
much. Thank you very much.
Moving ahead, I, with great ecstasy, would like to welcome the God-chosen people of wisdom in our institution, our secretary, Reverend Sister Dr. Rupi Alankaramedi, who is the leading person with the spark of joy everywhere she is present. I would like to welcome our principal, Reverend Sister Dr. Helen, who is the supporter and one who helped us implement our thoughts. Welcome, dear sisters. I also welcome our guide, our vice principal, Reverend Sister Dr. Mary Fabiola. Taking vital consideration, I welcome Control of Examination, Reverend Sister Dr. Emma Zamiri, IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Kalam Joseph, Dean of Academics, Mrs. Valencia Kamal, Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. U. Mary, for this wonderful program. I would like to welcome our teachers and student community who are here to witness this enthusiastic session. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Shrine. With a cheerful heart, now I request our chief guest, Mrs. Aisha Iyer Kumar, to take over the session now.
Good morning, everybody. It's such a pleasure to be here this morning. What a wonderful way to start my day. Thank you very much to all the heads of institution there, all the sisters, reverend sisters, to the faculty, and to the wonderful, wonderful ladies out there waiting to listen to me eagerly. It's such a pleasure to be in touch with the youth of today. Uh, Nothing else gives me more pleasure than speaking to you people. It might look like we are in two different parts of the world and we are virtually connected, but trust me, believe me, all of you sitting there are in front of me. It feels as if I'm in front of a live audience and I have a direct eye contact with you all. It doesn't even feel like I'm speaking to a screen, which is what we have been doing for the past 1.5 years. And to be invited to such a platform and on this forum on a day which hopes to celebrate Dr. Abdul Kalam's birthday, which falls on the 15th of October. And I think for apparent reasons of it being a holiday, 15th being a holiday, it's being celebrated today by your esteemed institution. And there's no greater honor to be associated with Dr. Abdul Kalam. And apparently I also understand that 15th of October is celebrated as World Students Day, for the passion and for the way Dr. Kalam connected with students. He had huge love and huge hope for the youth of our country. And the way he connected with them, the way he vibed with them was so much there to see. He was such a big draw among youth. And to be, invited on a day that commemorates him is such a huge honor to me. And somewhere I feel that, I owe it to him, I owe it to you all to give you a few things on this day, if tell you a few things on this day that will probably make your days brighter, that will probably pave a way to you if you feel you are a little lost. uh, when I speak to my students, or when I speak to young people like you, what inspires me is the thought that whatever I might say next, in the next few minutes, in the next 1 hour or so, might somewhere or the other touch you in some way or other, which I probably will not know how. You probably will not know how. So just sit back, relax, come with me on this journey, and let's see how we can discover ourselves and how we can create this path of hope for us going forward. Now, so once again, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'm thoroughly thrilled to be with you all. And believe me when I say that, you are all my children. It's like I'm speaking to my own daughters. It's like I'm giving you all those little nuggets of probably, I wouldn't call it wisdom. I'm not wise enough to say that I can give you wisdom, but then, those little sparks that can probably help you in your future. Uh, so I understand, from I've been in conversation with Dr. Umeri since yesterday, planning for this program, and she said that you've all still not started coming to the campus yet, and for the past 1.5 years you've all been doing online, and I can only imagine what you've all gone through. And a session like this at this point is very much needed. So apt for you all to help you reintegrate into what life was once upon a time. The kind of disruption and the dislocation that we have gone through in the past 1.5 years. Imagine it was like, whoever thought anything like this would happen. Uh, Suddenly, one fine day, even when we hadn't expected it, there's this thunderbolt falling on us. Nothing could have prepared us for it. We had never experienced anything like this in our lives. We had never, even heard of it except in the history books. Of the plague and of all those things that had happened in history, and we had absolutely no clue how to deal with it, and that's how sudden it was, and that's how abrupt it was. And for you all to even to wrap your head around it, to know what was happening, forget about you, even adults, people who had gone through so many years of their lives didn't know what was happening around them. World leaders, they didn't know how to deal with the situation. So grappling with the last 1.5 years of the pandemic has been the biggest challenge that we have all faced in recent times, and I don't know if anything like this would happen in future is so uncertain now. And give me a moment. So I honestly understand what you've been going through, in the past 1.5 years. Like, you've been all very chirpy, happy, jolly young girls, young ladies, going to college, meeting your friends, spending your time doing what you are expected to do, which is to study and to have fun in life. And then suddenly you're shunted home. You're confined to the four walls. You are expected not to do things that you wanted to do, and everything changed. And 1.5 years you've been doing your studies online, which is a major shift. We have absolutely no clue how to teach. The teachers didn't know how to teach. The teachers didn't know how to reach out. The students didn't know how to cope. I mean, I can imagine, right? I don't have to keep talking to you about it, but then it's just to tell you how I understand what you've been through. And the funniest part is now you're going to come back to college again. I understand, from November you will come back to your campuses. And that is going to be, that reintegration is going to take a little more time for you, because you've now got used to a set pattern of life in the last 1.5 years of waking up late and having very disorganized kind of routines. I have absolutely nothing to say about it. I'm happy that you had your space, your time, and then you could do things on your own and at your convenience and all those things. But then life had totally changed, and it got a little disorganized. And now to bring some semblance of organized behavior back into our lives, when you have to start coming to the college, when you have to start revisiting your learning in a very different way, that is going to be more challenging. Prepare yourself in the next 15 days. Prepare yourselves, telling yourselves that we have to get back to what we were before. What we became in the last 1.5 years is not what we actually are. We are a lot more capable. Okay. And what did these months or this 1.5 years make of us? It turned us into human beings who forgot to hope. There was so much of distress around us, so much of tragedy, untold misery around us that we haven't even heard of. We couldn't even imagine that at one point we forgot how to be happy, right? uh, there was only fear in our minds. There was only panic in our minds and anxiety. There were different kinds of mental illnesses seizing us. And we didn't know how we could get out of it, because unless the circumstances around us changed, there was very little that we could do to us, because circumstances were so intimidating, isn't it? And the instability, the uncertainty of not knowing what might happen next completely took away our ability to enjoy, to celebrate, to hope, to be optimistic in life. It was a complete scenario of gloom and doom for us. And I think we are somewhere, I don't know if we are out of the woods completely yet, but I think, we are beginning to see the end of the tunnel now. There's some light somewhere. And it is that light, that beacon that I want to latch onto. I want you all to latch onto that and tell yourself that, whatever has happened in the last 1.5 years, and the very fact that, it was just a patch in time. It was a patch in time, and we need to move forward. We need to look forward. So I want you all to be pepped up, to be completely energized and fueled. Who else can talk to us about fueling ourselves and to propelling ourselves than Dr. Kalam himself? He has been the best ambassador of hope for us all. When he comes and speaks, when he's on the stage, I've had the opportunity of listening to him once live when he had visited Dubai once, and the kind of energy that he builds up around him, when he speaks, it's infectious. That kind of infectious energy is what I want you all to start feeling from now onwards. We are all getting back on the track. We need to get back on the track, for God's sake, right? We've all been shrinking. We have all been pulling back our dreams. What's happening to our dreams in 1.5 years? That exams are getting cancelled, they are getting rescheduled, admissions are going haywire, parents have no idea of where to put their children next, students have no idea what tests to give next. I mean, but we need to get back. We need to gather ourselves. We need to muster that courage and hope and move forward. And we can do that only if we dare to dream once again. You understand? We need to. Dr. Kalam says, dream, dream, dream. One of his very popular quotes are like, dream, dream, dream. And conduct these dreams into thought. And then transform these thoughts into action. I don't know. I think, in the past 1.5 years, we have forgotten all these things. We have forgotten dreams. We have forgotten thoughts which are useful. And we have forgotten action. All that we have been doing is running helter skelter, not knowing what we were doing. We have lost a sense of direction. I don't know. I think you would all agree that this has been so for not just for you young people, even for us, even for the adults. We have lost sense of what we are doing in our lives. We are always been lost, but then Corona, it threw us in the middle of the sea and left us to find our way to the shore by ourselves. So what do? We need to find our own resources. Where are we going to find these resources? Are we going to find it outside of us? It's always my belief that the best of our resources lies within us. Any amount of motivation, any amount of inspiration, any amount of positive talk from outside you can impact you only when you are open to it. When you keep your hearts and minds open, receptive to what might come into you, that's when you start blooming. That's when you start feeling that life is all about what I give back to it. Yeah. So at this point, what we need to do is to take that first decision, to be resolute that we are going to march towards hope. Hope is a constant in our lives, children. Hope has to be a constant in our lives. Hope is not something that should come and go and come and go, although that's what happens. We are hopeful one moment, we are despondent the other. We are optimistic one moment, we are depressed the other moment. I understand. That's how it works. But at the back of it all, know that we are constantly in a state of hope and positivity. That's what, the universe, the cosmos has filled us with. We are filled with that hope. We needn't seek hope anywhere else. Just go delve deep into yourself. Ask yourself, do I have hope in myself? Or do I think that we are doomed forever? You will get your answer. You will never tell that we are doomed forever. Somewhere there is a voice that will tell you that there is hope for tomorrow. There is hope for the next day. There is a reason why I need to wake up tomorrow and go back to my work, to my college, to whatever I have been doing. No matter how many times you have been pulled down by negative thoughts, by the darkness of the times, but trust me, ask yourself in a moment of calm, in a more total, complete moment of, self focus, ask yourself, is there hope within me? And you will know that yes, there is hope within us because we are inherently filled with hope. Do you understand? I would like you to take just one moment, or 2 moments, probably 2 moments of silence, and ask yourself, is there hope within me? Do I feel hope? Or do I feel completely hopeless for these times? Yeah. I sincerely hope that you all could touch that one point of hope in your heart. Yeah. It may not be big, but then we need to dream. What are we without dreams, right? We need to dream. We need a reason to wake up tomorrow. We need a reason to look around the world, look around the life around us and celebrate it. No? As I was reading a few things about Dr. Kalam, he has said that there's no greater power in heaven or earth than a commitment to a dream. It's what we commit. There's this funny thing about commitment. When we commit something to ourselves, we always tend to go astray. We always say that, okay, if I commit to myself that I'm going to lose X kilos in 2 months, I'm going to exercise hard, I'm going to go to the gym. You commit to yourself, you always will, fall short, and you will probably not reach your target. But when you commit to somebody else, yes, when you commit it to somebody else, you always are accountable. So dream, make your dream accountable to somebody. And by somebody, I don't even say somebody next to you. I don't even say a person. Commit it to life. We owe that much to life, children. And you are at that point in time, your lives are all just waiting to surge forward, to find new frontiers, to find new pastures. And you have so many possibilities waiting in front of you. I have really, really, wondered if these 1.5 years is going to pull our young people back. Will it really take them away from their, goals, from their hopes? Because, over a period of time, we tend to become lazy. We tend to become, we tend to lag. We tend to take things easy. We feel that life will still go on. If life can go on for 1.5 years like this without me having to push, without me having to stretch, then why would I need to do anything better? It's very easy for us to fall into the trap of inaction, of lethargy. And I've been very afraid of it. I've seen my students slowly slip into that. And for that one reason, even though it was not very easy for me to decide that is it safe enough for our children to go back to the campuses, but for their sake, for their sanity's sake, for their energy level's sake, for the bounciness that they had, I wanted that bounciness to come back, and I wanted them all to go back to college. And for that, I'm very happy for you all that come November, you are all going to go back to college. Just celebrate that. That is your first moment of hope after this break of 1.5 years. Yeah, I keep telling 1.5 years. I don't even know how many months we have spent in this, in this reclusive state. So it's all about dreaming. And uh, there is this small contradiction. There is a small paradox in this whole dream thing. It is that we say we must dream big, okay? Uh, Reach for the skies and you will touch the stars. So dream big, think big, and we have been always fed with these lessons, right? But there's something, that I would like to tweak in this. I would like to put a new spin on this dream story that we have always been fed with. Okay, like in the best of his moods, Dr. Kalam would tell and inspire his youth crowd, in the youth audience, by saying that if you have to shine like the sun, you must burn like the sun. Okay, uh, that's one quote that I have always revisited. For one thing, I always thought that, it shouldn't stop with burn with the sun. It said burn with the sun, but don't burn out. That is very important. Now, what I'm seeing in all of us, including you, young people and adults, is that we are burning ourselves out in pursuit of our dreams. So, while on one hand, we need to have the dream to keep going, because that's what it's that's what gives us a reason to be alive. That's what gives us a reason to laugh. That's what gives us a reason, as I said, to wake up in the morning and to get going with our lives. So the dream is important. But are we also burning out in pursuit of our dreams is something that we need to be very, very watchful about. That is something that I'm seeing very much in these times. We have lost an idea of how much to dream, what to dream, and how to achieve or attain our dreams. Very important for you people at this point in life to know that. Okay, so now, given the fact that we have absolutely no idea of what might happen, right? We have all now understood that future is uncertain. We knew it. We always knew that future is uncertain. You never know what would happen tomorrow or what would happen the next day. But Corona has taught us even more. It has drilled that reality, deeper into our psyche. That there's no telling what can happen tomorrow, what can happen in a week's time. Okay, there is uncertainty. But should we always say that since things are going to be uncertain, there's no point planning? No, that's folly. That's absolute foolishness. We need to dream, we need to plan for a certain date in future. But remember this, we need to plan for a certain day in future for us to reach the goal on a certain time in future, but we need to focus on the now. Do you get my point? We need to focus on the now to reach the future. You cannot reach the future. What we do is we always think only of the future. We only think of what will happen after my 12th. What am I going to do after my 12th? And your focus, your attention, your anxieties, your thoughts are entirely on that day when you pass out of 12th. Which college will I get admission in? After my graduation, where am I going for my higher studies? Will I get a job? Yes, I know that that is our end point. That is our destination. But then, so long as you keep your thoughts, so long as you keep your focus fixed on that date and not today, very hard chance that we are going to make it easily. Do you understand what I'm saying? Have your mind there, but work today. Live today. Work today. Put in your best efforts today, because what we have in our hand is only today, right? We have always been, during the pandemic days, it isn't as if I haven't gone through my own set of anxieties or ups and downs, and it's been a roller coaster ride for all of us, right? And in those days, it's not that I have not gone through these moments of panic and disappointments and depression. Yes, we all do. As human beings, we all do. But then what we need to do is to quickly spring back from it. So what I thought was, at that point in time when I was thinking about it, there were times when I felt, oh gosh, these are the things that have happened, and I used to wallow in pity. I used to think that the past has been like this, and I have no clue what is going to happen in the future, given how chaotic the present was in my personal life. Everything around us were going uh, berserk. Things were all chaotic. So then I thought, it was at that moment in time that I felt, well, I've been thinking of the past. I've been thinking of all the sad stories of my past, the sob stories of my past, and I am now panicking over what might happen later. But come on, I mean, this is very, very simple wisdom. We all talk about it, but we don't practice it. And at one point in time, I said, what can I do about what has happened yesterday? And what can I do about what might happen 1 week later? Yeah, I know what I need to do 1 week later. Okay. But what I must do 1 week later, I can't do now. What can I do now? I can only do now what I can do now. It sounds very simplistic, isn't it? But imagine, take a moment to think about it. If you have to get an admission in a medical college, if you have to get admission in IIT, if you have to get a job in a reputed company, if you want, anything in your future, can you get it now? You can't. What can you do now? Work towards it from now. And when you say from now, I cannot work tomorrow at this point. 12 o'clock of this day, I cannot work tomorrow. I can only work the 12 o'clock of today. So at 12 o'clock today, what is it that I need to do to make that dream come true? That's how you'll have to look at it. Okay, don't panic. I mean, we have dreams of different dimensions and different sizes and of different colors. Each of us will have a different dream to pursue and accomplish. Keep the dream there and say, it's like, painting. You have a huge you painting to complete. If you look at the painting and say, how am I going to do it? You don't know how you're going to complete it. But where do you start? You start with one stroke at a time, right? One stroke. Can you do 25 strokes at a time and finish half of the picture at once? You can't. So work now with one stroke at a time. That one stroke is what is going to take you towards your dream. It's not enough that we have a dream. That is the biggest mistake we have all been doing. We all have dreams. We all grow dreams in our minds. We all work for it. We all aspire for things. We all are become ambitious without a clue of how to reach there and how much we need to strive to reach there. That is also a major question. And when you paint your painting, you must know what you're capable of, what my strokes are like, where do I need to improve. Okay, I probably am a weak in this area. Do I realize that? If I realize that, what do I need to do? I need to complete a picture. See, I know my target. I know my goal. I need to complete my picture. So if there is something that I'm falling short of, that I'm not very good at, that I'm weak at, then I need to work on that area. Right. So that is one way of going forward with your dreams. It's funny that we all talk about dreams. I'm coming back to this again because I don't want you to get misguided and misled by this word dream. Don't just have a dream. Don't just pursue it madly, okay, without knowing what you're doing. Pursue it consistently with a plan, knowing what you're doing and where you're driving. Okay, so that's one thing. You know, I don't know. It must be a coincidence that as I was just quickly yesterday evening, I was just preparing for speaking to you people. I don't prepare much. It's just that when I have to speak to you people, I'm so full of inspiration. Yeah, I just come and talk to you all, and that's what I enjoy doing. Rather than writing down things and then following a set pattern or a note. But then, I thought I must at least quickly look up Dr. Kalam's speeches, not speeches, Dr. Kalam's at least quotes, a few quotes that he must have said. And then I was really surprised to see how much he has spoken about dreams. His dreams were for a powerful, emergent India. Okay. And I wanted to slowly apply that in our lives. Yeah, because these times demand it. We young people too, okay, including myself, if I can say. So we people need a reason to dream. And it's my very staunch belief that dreams can be attained only if you concentrate on the now. And that's when I came across this quote of Dr. Kalam, which reads, let me just read that: whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. It almost felt like, he was resonating that now moment for me. And I was thrilled. I was like ecstatic when I, read that now moment, because I've always felt that this now moment has the maximum power in our lives. It is present, perfect, continuous. Whenever I teach grammar to my students, I always tell them that this is one of my favorite tenses. Why? Present, it is perfect, and it is continuous. The present continues. The next moment continues in the present. Okay. As we pursue the dream. So the next point that I want to talk to you about is, as we pursue our dreams, there are a lot of there are a lot of pitfalls. There are a lot of traps that you must be very, very wary of. You have to be careful about what you must do and what you must not do. Now, when we have a dream, what kind of a dream? Let's say for someone it is to uh, be the best doctor in town. For someone else it is to be a match winning sportsman. For someone, we have dreams of the ultimate kind. Yeah. And what has happened now is we have uh, been caught in this pursuit of dreams so much that most of us have now succumbed to the fallout of the anxieties that these dreams have created in us. That has now started affecting us. Yeah, your exams, instead of taking exams as something that will help you move forward in life, you take exams as something that tests you. You take exams as that's something that might judge you as someone who is successful or a failure. Yeah. No, look at your dreams as something that you want to move towards with joy. If you're giving your exams, give your exams with the thought that I'm going to do my best. Remember the now moment. Okay, I'm going to do the best that I have to do in this moment. I know that this moment is preparing me for the exams. And once I give my exams, that exams, no matter how it comes out, I'm going to take it forward. Always give a chance to yourself to move forward. What we do often is we stop ourselves. We build the fences around ourselves saying that this is it. I'm done. I cannot move forward. I'm only worth so much. I'm not done very well. I'm not capable. Self doubts. Self doubts of many kinds. I go through it. We all go through it. But then how we grapple with it and we come out of it is what makes us different from the rest of the world. You understand? So, what are the things that we must be very careful about when we pursue our dreams? Hmm? We have said that we need to have hope because hope is our nature. Okay, being optimistic, being positive, that is our nature. And from that nature of resourceful hope, resourceful optimism, we create our dreams. And when we create our dreams, we know what we have to do, which is to work for the future dream now. Look at how you can, clearly make out the way forward. There is a process of doing it. If only you will let yourself follow the process. So when we have a dream, there are, I consider the three C's, or let me say the four C, okay, the alphabet C's that we must pay attention to. What are they? Don't compare. Comparison. Comparison is a folly in life. Yeah. And I know we all compare. Somebody has got that, somebody has scored so much, somebody has won that, somebody has bought this. We compare ourselves, and then, we compare ourselves to somebody else and then say, I'm not good enough as them. They are better than me. They are doing much better because they are much more capable, that they are much more resourceful. Comparison. No, a big no to comparison. What happens when you compare is you tend to forget what you are. You're constantly looking at the other person. So, does that mean that you shouldn't look at the other person? I'm saying look at the other person, but don't compare. We all have our individual journeys in life. In the running race, doesn't each athlete have his or her own track to run on? Hmm? Imagine if the runner would look around, seeing where the other person is, or half his energy, half his attention would be lost. Instead, we need to put our attention, our energies, our resources into our running so that we are on track and we make the most of the opportunity that we have got and we reach the finish point. But instead, what do? We tend to compare ourselves to others. And comparison, my dear children, is a huge downer for us. It's a dampener for us. We don't give credit to ourselves when we compare. We're giving credit to somebody else. And do you really want to do that? Are you happy doing it? Is what my question is. Are we happy comparing ourselves to somebody else? No, right? Then why do we do it? So stop comparing yourself. What you are, you are. You are unique. You are unique. You have been sent to this earth with a purpose, okay? By the cosmos, by the universe, by the Almighty. And when you compare yourself with somebody else, you're doing disservice to the faith and the trust that the universe has in you. When universe has trust in you, why should you not have trust in you? So march ahead, forge ahead with the trust that you have in yourself without comparing with anyone else. So comparison is the first C that we must knock out of our list. Second thing, competition, very closely related. Yeah. Competition, everywhere competition. A very concerned parent, sent a message to me about 2-3 weeks ago, saying that, the cutoff marks in the universities, which is in India's top universities, is 100%. And how do students even get into colleges if this is the case? And how will parents not be flustered and deeply disturbed by the amount of competition that is there? So, no amount of your best performance, your best performance is not enough. That's what it comes out these days. So, that is the level of competition we have. But somewhere I feel that this word competition has been so romanticized, and we have hyped it up so much. Yeah. It's our choice, children, to be in the rat race or not to be in the rat race. If you want to be in the rat race, there are people who enjoy being in the rat race. Yeah. Do you want to be in the rat race? No, you don't have to be in the rat race. You do your best. And trust me, your best will fetch you returns in a way that we don't even expect. Because there is a certain pattern to, and there's such a certain natural way to things happening around us, even when we don't realize it. Trust me. So when you look at somebody else and you compete with somebody else, again, like in comparison, we are putting them ahead of us. What are we looking at? Our eyes are constantly on the other person. Our focus is entirely on the other person's performance. What happens to us? Why are we always pushing ourselves into the shadows when we need to be out in the spotlight? Put yourself in the spotlight in your pursuit of your dreams. Your dreams are yours alone. No one else has a right to trample upon it. You understand? And when you are competing with someone, when you are comparing with someone, you are allowing the other person to take charge of your dreams. Let me put it this way. uh, you know, uh, along with competition, I also always use the word copy. Okay, what do we do when we compete or when we compare? We also tend to copy somebody else, don't we do? Because somebody else has been doing so well. I want to become that person. It might be, a small. I mean, it's an expressional problem. We just say that I want to be that person, and we don't probably mean that we exactly want to be that person, but somewhere you picture yourself in that person's shoes. That person's success is what you want to replicate. Yeah. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to copy the other person. And in doing all these things, when you copy, when you compare, when you compete, what are we doing? We are handing over the charge and the control of our dreams in somebody's hands. We are just giving it to them, saying that whatever you do is what is going to dictate what I want to become. How you perform is what is going to dictate how I am going to work today. Yeah, because we are comparing, right? And we are competing, right? So if that person is working very hard and working, I have heard students say that they get stressed because they hear their peers, their classmates and friends say that I didn't sleep even a moment yesterday, not a single wink yesterday. I was studying all through the night. And this girl who probably took a break of 1 or 2 hours in the night is panicky. She's panicky because her friends haven't slept and she slept. She wasted 1 or 2 hours. So look at the level to which we compare and compete ourselves. So those people have decided how much you must rest, how much you must study, how much break you must take, how badly you must affect your health. Does it even make sense? Doesn't. All this for what? For my dream, for our dream. We go and hand the entire charge and control to somebody else. We say, okay, hold this. Now you will tell me how much I must study, whether I must sleep, whether I must take care of my health, whether I must eat, whether I must keep my body slim, whether I must be fat. Every single thing we do only because we let the other person call the shots. Are we being fair to ourselves? And don't you think that we have a right to be fair to ourselves when we decide things that are pertaining to our dream? It's my dream, for God's sake. Why should anybody else tell me how to pursue it? You must know it. You must be in charge. You are the boss of your dreams. You understand what I say? So these 3 C's, be very, very wary of them. Take them out of your life. No more comparison. You are as good as you are. Okay? You are as unique as the universe has made you out to be. No more competition. Let the other person do his best. You will do your best now. And you will go after your dreams. Okay? And no more copying. Please, I don't want to be somebody else. I want to be myself. We all want to be ourselves. Let's not copy somebody else and make his dream our dream. You understand? So know what your dream is, understand what you want, and pursue it. Last C that I want to say, very important. If the other C's were all concerning others, other people in your life, the fourth C is primarily about us. That is compromise. And this is no compromise, no comparison, no copying, no competition, and no compromise with ourselves. Very important. It's not enough that we say, I won't compete, I won't compare, I won't copy, therefore I'm just going to sit like this. Make sense? No. What should you do? You should not compromise with your own self. You need to have your own objectives and purpose in life. Okay. And when you say that I will not compromise, what does that mean? I'm not going to do any less than I'm capable of doing. I'm going to do the best that I can. I know my capabilities. I know how far I can stretch. I know how much I can put into this. And you must ask yourself, be honest, ask yourself, am I doing my best? And if you have done your best, trust me, you're going to get your returns. Which way? It may not be the way that you are asking for, but then trust the cosmos, trust the universe to pay you back for all the perseverance, for all the hard work that you have put into it. Unless we believe in ourselves, unless we, you know, work without compromising on the task at hand, we're not going to reach anywhere. Yeah. So, I mean, it's very easy for us to tell, I am not in all these rat race. I don't want to get into all these things. We're very complacent about it. And we make it feel as if, by not doing all those things, we are being very happy and satisfied. No, we know that, not doing anything is also not going to fetch us happiness, not bring us any kind of joy. It's like, I've heard this analogy of when you have to climb a mountain, okay, reaching the peak, okay, is your goal. Now there is somebody who says that I don't want to climb the mountain and I'm going to just while away my time walking in the valley, and then he just loiters, not doing anything. And there is somebody who finds shortcut to reach there. Okay, he takes a helicopter and then he reaches there. He reaches there in no time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But there is this person who says, I want to climb, I want to trek my way up to the peak. And he takes his time, treks, looks around, enjoys the nature around him, sweats a lot. And when he reaches the peak, the kind of accomplishment that he feels is unmatched, which is what I want you all to do. To know that I have some place to reach and I'm going to go there, but at my own pace. I'm not going to take a helicopter. I want to do it my way. Maybe there are people who are taking a helicopter and, reaching there faster, but that's not how I want to do. But we are all looking for shortcuts. We don't find happiness in our accomplishments these days only because we find hot shortcuts. Yeah. Quick answers, quick solutions for everything. We don't want to work hard. But if you don't work hard for something, trust me, you're not going to feel the joy of it. It's going to be momentary. Yeah. So these 4 things are very important for you to keep in mind. Just give me 1 minute. What else did I want to say? Yeah. So to sum it up, I think, I've been speaking enough to you people, and I hope, it has been of some use to you. To sum it up, have dreams. Yeah. Have dreams. Without dreams, we are like spring season without flowers, flowering trees. Set your goal. Set your goal for the future. Work for it today. I'll give you one small example once again. Footballers, have you seen them play? What is their target? The goalpost. What is their goal? To score, right? But then what do? They make small passes, right? Those small passes are what you need to concentrate. Those small passes are what, symbolize the now moment. Seize this moment. Work in this moment. Do your pass now. And then the next person does his pass. So as a team, what do? They only work with their passes, which ultimately leads them to scoring a goal. So have the goal, work for it today, work without keeping others in mind. Your work is yours, your dream is unique, and you are the only person in charge of it. And do it because you want it. No that you are the main person who has planned your dream, and nobody else can ever take charge of it. Okay, do it because you want it. I want to do this because I want to do it. Have that want in front of you all the time. Okay, you will only set your boundaries and your destination when you take charge of that, when you feel, that power lies within me. Trust me, there is no greater power than the power that is within us, and that is that supernatural power, that supreme power that is within us, that works through us. What makes me speak today is that supreme power. What makes you people listen to us is that supreme power. What makes you people study is that supreme power. Teachers, what makes you such great, what do I say, beacons of hope for our children, for them, guiding them through their lives. And I don't know, the work that teachers do for our children, I've always been in awe of them. Thank you very much for being there for our youngsters, for our new generation, guiding them all along. So, what gives the teachers the power is that supreme thing that we all have inside us. Yeah. And as a parting shot, I want to tell all the teachers out there, you've been doing great work, great service. And I hope, you continue to do this for all our children, because uh, this is something, again, by chance. It was a coincidence that I came across, about Dr. Kalam. And he says, we cannot build the future for our youth. What we can do is build our youth for the future. And how we build our youth for the future is something that we need to work very hard on. Our youth is what our world is going to be like tomorrow. We may all leave, but we all need to leave behind something for them to look forward to. We must leave them with the kind of education that will help them deal with life. We shouldn't stop at teaching them to score well in exams, to make a cut, to get good jobs. No, we need to teach them the fundamentals of life and how to deal with the challenges that life throws at us. The kind of curveballs life has been throwing at us is, unimaginable, and it's only going to get worse, or it's only going to get more complicated in the future. So let's all be there. Let's pledge our commitment towards our youth and towards everyone, like Dr. Kalam did. The fiery speeches that he gave, the way he roused the youth. That's exactly we all need to do in our own little ways. And let's hope for the very best. And I'm very thankful to you all for being here today. It's been an immense pleasure talking to you all. And all the very best. Do the best that you can today. Please keep all these points. Whatever comes to your mind at whatever point in time, it will help you. You understand? Small things are enough for you to keep that flame alive. Okay? All the best, and God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your enlightening speech. Gratitude makes a sense of our past, bring peace for today, and creates worship for tomorrow. Now I call upon Pratiksha, Audit Union Secretary, to render the vote of thanks. A warm and grateful afternoon to our most valued chief guest. This is Asha Ayar Kumar, Reverend Sister Secretary, Reverend Sister Principal, Reverend Sister Vice Principal, heads of various academic bodies, teachers, and my dear friends. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him, bless his name. Psalms chapter 100, verse 1. I consider it a privilege to propose the vote of thanks and acknowledge the contributions of those who work tirelessly to make this Youth Awakening program a success. I, on behalf of our college and the entire fraternity of this institution, extend my most sincere thanks to Almighty God for making today's event a resounding success. It is with His blessings and grace we were able to make this event possible. On behalf of the Student Affairs Committee of Nirmala College for Women, I extend a hearty thanks to our chief guest, Mrs. Asha Ayakumar, who spared time from her busy schedule to grace the occasion. Today, we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and that has surely helped us to keep ourselves spirited. Ma'am, your thoughts have enlightened our minds and have shown us a new path. The three C's which you said were such an eye-opener for us. I express my gratitude to you, ma'am, for sharing your words of wisdom with us today. I'm immensely thankful to our secretary, Reverend Sister Dr. Ruby Alangara Mary, Principal, Reverend Sister Dr. Helen, Vice Principal, Reverend Sister Dr. Mary Fabiola, for their unwavering support and blessings towards all our endeavors. Their constant motivation and valuable ideas have always paved the way for all our commendable works. Thank you, sisters. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to our Controller of Examination, Reverend Sister Dr. Ruby Emelda Mary, Dean of Academics, Mrs. Polentia Kamal, Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Mary, and IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Pauline Vasanti Joseph, for their enormous support and goodwill towards the Student Affairs Committee and all its activities. I am in short of words to thank all the heads of the departments and teachers for their involvement and support in all student activities. I am immensely thankful to the Social Media Committee for live streaming the program for us in YouTube. An event like this cannot happen overnight. It requires planning and a bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed up by very proactive and dedicated teachers of the Student Affairs Committee. I thank them for their guidance and support. I would also like to thank my student friends for patient listening and rock solid cooperation throughout the program. Last but not least, on behalf of the entire Student Affairs Committee, I thank everyone who worked for and participated in this event. Thank you. Thank you, Pratiksha. Accept your past without regret, handle your present with confidence, and face your future without fear. Thank you. Have a nice day.